you're supposed to be able to just like write down everything that happens in your mind, whether or not it makes sense grammatically, whether or not you're even like finishing your thoughts. You're supposed to just write. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an updated journaling video for you guys. I did get a few questions on my comments as well as in my Instagram DMs, just asking about, you know, how my journaling process is going, whether I'm still upkeeping those same routines and habits that I've built around journaling, and kind of just, I guess, whether anything has changed, because the last time I spoke about my kind of journaling process, I was still writing in my morning pages every day. I'm not doing that anymore, but I'll get a little bit more into that later. So yeah, I guess I just kind of wanted to come on and chat about where I'm at with my journaling process and the organization behind it that I'm using right now. I always love watching these videos from other people, so I hope this is interesting for those of you who are looking for, like, whether it's journaling tips or organizational tips, whatever it is, I hope it's helpful. But yeah, here's my journaling update. So the last time that I checked in with you guys, I was writing in my morning pages every day, and I was actually writing in my morning pages every single day while I was away in Asia. That's when I actually started this one. I've already made it through one of these notebooks, and if you guys can see, I'm like almost halfway through this one as well. I really do appreciate the process of writing morning pages, but ever since I've gotten back from my Asia trip, I have fallen off a little bit with maintaining writing every day, just because since I've been back, it has been a bit of a crazy kind of, I don't know, month, just because since I've been back from Asia, life has been a little crazy, a little fast and hectic. Even just in January, I was traveling so much, and yeah, there was a couple times where I just had forgotten to bring it, or when I was like away on my girlfriend's birthday trip, for example, I wasn't gonna like whip this out and write in it. And then from there, the habit kind of just dropped. But one thing I did try to make sure of is that I wasn't beating myself up for not being able to write in this every day. I still write in it pretty often. I write in it like every couple of days, but that's even like one thing my journaling experience has taught me, is that it's okay to fall off every once in a while. Like, life gets in the way of everything sometimes, right? Like life gets in the way of your relationships, life gets in the way of even work sometimes, life gets in the way of your social life sometimes, and life kind of got in the way of my journaling. But it's not as if I have just been like wasting away, like not doing anything with my time. I have been trying to accomplish as much as I can every day and be as productive as I can every day. So journaling is now kind of become, or at least my morning pages has now kind of become, this little precious luxury that I get for a little bit of me time and a little bit of self-discovery. Again, if you guys haven't heard of morning pages before, it is just a quick daily stream of consciousness writing exercise, and it was created for artists and creatives, just because if you're able to get all of your thoughts out on paper first thing in the morning, it's gonna help you focus and help you clear your mind a little bit in preparation for the rest of your day. So that's kind of how I started it. And yeah, it's still definitely something that I'm very, very supportive of. I think journaling will always be something that I'm really supportive of. But yeah, that's kind of the relationship that I have with it right now. For a lot of people who don't journal, they often ask me, like, what do you write about? Because especially for morning pages, you are supposed to write 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing. And that's gonna be really hard for anybody who hasn't journaled before. I've always kept a journal in my life, just my older journals don't have any like structure to them, like morning pages does. But for me personally, I don't even really do stream of consciousness writing, because with stream of consciousness writing, you're supposed to be able to just like write down everything that happens in your mind, whether or not it makes sense grammatically, whether or not you're even like finishing your thoughts. You're supposed to just write. And I think it's just because I have been journaling for so long that it's hard for me to just not try to put it in a more eloquent or well-written way, if that makes any sense at all. So when I journal, I typically do almost like a diary entry. I'm like, So, you know, these things happened today. This is how it made me feel. Of course, I'm still trying to get as much of what's going on in here down on paper, but whenever I have like another thought come in, I just kind of keep that in the back of my mind, finish the thought that I'm writing first, and then go on to that thought, just so I'm able to get like a more full picture of what's going on with that thought. And that sounds really analytical, but it really isn't even such an analytical thing for me. I'll read you guys an entry that I did when I was in Asia. It's like, arrived at my villa in Seminyak and damn, it's stunning. Seminyak is a total different vibe than Ubud. It's way more hip and cool and filled with tourists, but tourists mean loads of cool shops and stunning restaurants. Gonna head to the beach today, spent yesterday afternoon. So like it was just really just a recap of my day, what was going on in my life at the time. And of course, because I was on vacation, those entries are very more so of like a recap, but I do have days where maybe I'm just writing because I'm not feeling so great about myself that day, or I'm just feeling a little unmotivated, and those are gonna be structured a little bit differently. So I guess my biggest tip for journaling is just write, like whatever it is, like whatever format, whatever structure works for your mind, just write. Some people like to do lists and then do like bullet points and then like tab over bullet points so that each original bullet point has like sub points. Some people do really enjoy like the stream of consciousness writing, where it doesn't necessarily have to string together in a perfect sentence or have perfect grammar. They just write and that works for them. Me personally, I just do, yeah, like diary entries. Like it feels like when I'm writing, I'm telling my diary, or like I'm telling a confidant about my day, and that's always how I've written, and yeah, that's how I continue to journal. So that's kind of my update for my morning pages. I also have continued to bullet journal, and my bullet journal process has been like so messy, you know, just I've gone through so many unfinished bullet journals just because halfway through I decide like I don't like the format that I'm writing in, or this is getting too messy. And I have such a bad habit of doing that, of not finishing notebooks, just because halfway through I'm like, okay, I don't like my writing in the last 20 pages and I can't rip out those 20 pages, so we're just gonna get rid of the notebook altogether and start fresh. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I'm so guilty, like so guilty of that wasteful habit, but I'm trying to work on it. So anyways, I started this one not because of that reason, but it's actually because it was just the start of a new year, and typically I will start a new notebook at the beginning of each year, just because it gives me kind of a fresh start. Yeah, so I have started a new one. I guess I can kind of go through, you know, my pages and what they look like. Oh, I wrote like a little goal dissection on a separate notebook while I was away on my trip, so I just stuck that in there with some washi tape, just as a reminder of my goals that I set for myself during that period. I tried to do the Passion Planner yearly wish list, and I still need to do the game changer part, but I haven't done that yet. So it's just like a little mind map of hopefully my achievements for 1 year, 3 months, or 3 months, 1 year, 3 years, and a lifetime. So what do I want to achieve in 3 months? What do I want to achieve in a year? What do I want to achieve in 3 years? And like, what is my end goal, I guess. After that, I actually have broken down my goals into outcome goals, performance goals, and process goals, and I did an entire blog post about like breaking down your goals and making them into slightly more achievable goals than just like year-long resolutions. But how I kind of broke that down was, so for example, I had a 90-day outcome goal to reach 20,000 subscribers by March 31st. My performance goal for that would be at least one valuable video every week, and then my process goal would be to film every Tuesday. So just really breaking down those goals into like bite-sized steps so that you can achieve them. And then I did a little like tracker page as well. So I actually missed out on the first 2 weeks of January. At week 3, I was at 10,000 subs. And like I had a bunch of different goals, so that's why there's like a bunch of different words there, but I had 10,000 subs for that goal. Another one of my goals were to build a habit of working three times a week, so I was tracking that as well. And then I'm just gonna go through each week and just see what I was able to accomplish. I still do the monthly view in my bullet journal, so this is for January. And I usually, my bullet journal, like I do have a planner as well. I'm so neurotic in this way, but my bullet journaling is mainly for my content, whether it's for YouTube, Instagram, campaigns, whatever it is. So I drafted out a monthly view and then just put in kind of like due dates for campaigns and due dates for videos. And then I always have a list of all the projects that I'm doing on the side. And then usually after my monthly, I just have pages of writing like this, and these are just me building out video ideas or campaign details, whatever it may be. And then I just check off the ones that I filmed or have uploaded. So after that, I've got February, and this is kind of how the rest of the year is gonna go. I'm gonna do monthly view and then ideas. But the other two things that I incorporated into this bullet journal was I have a future log for 6 months, so January, February, March, April, May, June. And obviously I didn't think to do this until February, but yeah, future log, just to make sure I'm getting all of my overarching tasks and campaigns and projects completed. Then I have an outreach tracker as well, because that was one of my goals, was to just to do more outreach this year, whether or not I get results, just to get the practice of pitching and reaching out to brands on my own. So yeah, I just did a little chart and did brands, reached out, reply, and then verdict. So yeah, so far verdict has been no for both of the brands that I pitched to, but at least if I'm tracking it, then I have a better chance of succeeding in the future. That's what I've been doing with my bullet journal. Again, I still keep my still agenda, and if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it up above for you guys. And I think that's pretty much everything for my journaling update. Not much has changed, but enough has changed that I thought it would be useful to create this video for those of you who were interested in what I was doing with my journaling. Again, journaling isn't gonna be for everybody. It's not gonna be something that everybody loves to do, but I do think that overall journaling is something that would be beneficial to everybody. So whether or not you like it, I think it's still something that you should at least try and see if it brings any positive changes to your life. Because for me, as I've become more and more of an introvert, growing a little older, journaling is my moment to really self-reflect and do a little bit of self-discovery and just figure out exactly what's going on in my head and why those things are happening, or why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling what I'm feeling. Yeah, it's just a little moment of self-care and peace that I get to have. So, but yeah, like whether or not you feel that way about journaling, I do feel like the practice itself is just worth it. Try it. I feel like such a religious preacher to journaling. It's like journaling is my religion. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I have gone to a once a week video schedule. They're supposed to go up on Sunday, but sometimes they go up on Monday, so that's my video schedule. And then of course I do try to upload twice a week if I can, but if not, Sundays or Mondays is when you'll see my videos. Okay, that is everything. I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next week.